Hi, I'm Jeff Arnett. I understand and I respect that over the last several days there has been considerable interest in and questions about the purchase of vehicles for our Eanes ISD Police Department. I'm going to answer 4 questions. First, why do we need our own police department? Second, why does a police department need its own vehicles? Third, why are we proposing the purchase of electric or Tesla vehicles for our police officers? And fourth, from where do the funds come to cover this proposed purchase? First, why are we creating our own police department in Eanes ISD? In the spring of 2023, when the Texas legislature passed House Bill 3 that was eventually signed into law, it required every school in Texas to have an armed security person on each of its campuses. In Eanes ISD, our Board of Trustees, after considerable input from our community, considered all of the cost-effective options for complying with this new mandate. We considered guardians and marshals and hiring an outside security firm, but in the end, we determined that the best thing for our school district to protect our students, our staff, and our visitors is to create our own formal police department. Second, why should our police department have its own vehicles? Well, keep in mind, as a department comprised of highly skilled, veteran and experienced law enforcement agents, these officers are not just responsible for their own campus at which they're stationed, but they would then have to respond to a critical incident or an emergency on any one of our campuses. They become the first responders. And in getting to those sites or those emergencies, wherever it may be in our school district, they would need vehicles to help transport themselves there. And these vehicles must be law enforcement vehicles, equipped with all of the specifications and the other resources that you would think of in a typical police vehicle. Third, why are we proposing the purchase of electric vehicles or Teslas for our police department in Eanes ISD? In fact, when we began the process, we weren't looking for electric vehicles at all. We considered all the traditional makes and models of police cars that are available out there. We solicited bids from dozens of vendors and auto dealers throughout the state of Texas. We evaluated those bids according to a very specific criteria, and we followed the legal procurement process exactly. There were only 2 qualifying offers that were submitted. And in evaluating those, Tesla was determined to be the best value for Eanes ISD taxpayers. And we can get those vehicles in 60 days. The other traditional makes and models of police vehicles we knew were probably going to take us at least a year to be able to provide to our officers in our new department. And not only that, but the other more conventional police vehicles that might be available to us even after 12 or more months were going to be considerably more expensive than the Tesla models that are proposed to us. That's why we're recommending the Tesla as the best value and the most cost-effective option for Eanes ISD taxpayers and our new police department. Fourth, from where do the monies come that we'll use to purchase these vehicles for our police department? These are monies that were budgeted specifically for vehicle purchases as a capital item, only as equipment. They do not come from the same budget that we use to compensate our staff or to pay teacher salaries. And these are not monies that come from the Eanes Education Foundation. These are monies that were specifically set aside for vehicles as a capital expense, not from our operating funds that we use to compensate our staff and our teachers. Irrespective of what make, model, or brand we may ultimately choose for our new department, the most important thing is that we are equipping our police officers so that they can best provide for the safety and security of our students, our staff, and any visitors to our schools. What type of car it is really is not important. But what is important is that we are seeking the best value for our taxpayers and at the same time equipping these professional law enforcement officers with something that will allow them to do their jobs, just as we might expect we would support and resource our teachers and our staff in our classrooms every day. Taking care of your children, our students, all of our staff, and visitors to our campuses is our greatest priority. Thank you for listening.